Hello. What's going on, folks? Hey, just get my act together here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just do that. Welcome. Welcome, Jen. Welcome, Mike. Why is that not standing up? There we go. I get it together eventually. Hi. Happy Monday to oh no, it's not Monday. What day is it? It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. If you're just joining in and giving people a second to get themselves settled, while I pour some of Daddy's juice, because it's Tuesday. People are gonna think I'm an alcoholic, which I am not, because of course alcoholics go to meetings. Hey, Maura, welcome. Glad you could join. If you're just joining in, thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome to Live at 5 with Michael Bach. Live at 5 with Michael Bach. I'm just bring my microphone a little closer. I feel like I need to do a little ASMR. I don't even understand what that stuff is. Welcome. If you're just joining in, so happy that you could be here. Hey there, Steve. Welcome. Steve did it right. Tell me who you are, where you're from. Drop it in the chat box. Share a little bit about who you are. Would love to know who is watching. It's a bit, these lives are a bit weird, right? Because it's a one-way thing. I can't see other people. I'm sitting in my rainbow-infested room. So yeah, I'd love for you to send a message down below. Tell me who you are, where you're from, so I can say hi to you and we can engage in a bit of conversation. Yeah, so I'm not feeling so weird. Yes, my husband is in the living room. It's not weird at all. That's the message he chose to post. You're so weird. If you're not already doing so, follow me. I am at the Michael Bach, although that's weird because you're on my social media. But if you're watching me on like YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram. And if you're watching me on Facebook, you can follow me on Instagram. Mainly, I'm just trying to build up Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. Jen from Newfoundland. Lovely Newfoundland and Labrador, my favorite province in the entire country. Welcome, Jen. Living in Toronto. Sorry about that. Welcome. Yes, so do follow me on social media. And if you haven't already done so, check out my new book, Alphabet Soup, The Quintessential Guide to LGBTQ2+ Inclusion. Hi, Brian. Welcome. New book. You can go to alphabetsoup.lgbt and find out more about it. We've got this great crowdfunding campaign going on because books cost moolah, honey. And for those of you who think I make a lot of money off a book, I'm still paying off the last one. It's great. So go to alphabetsoup.lgbt. You can get some really cool swag that we've prepared. Check it out. See what's going on. And who knows, you might find something that you are like, I need to have a keychain with Michael's name on it. And then you can get a copy of my book, which is coming later. March 29th, available March 29th. So go to alphabetsoup.lgbt to find out more. Again, if you're just joining me, feel free to share in the chat who you are, where you're from. And also, if you want, ask a question. I'm happy to answer questions about pretty much anything. Lawn care, cystic fibrosis, diversity. I guess we could talk about that. Whatever you think. Oh, I'm curious about this. Canning recipes. Just drop a question down below. I will do my best to answer. The thing I wanted to talk about today, it's not in my book, because the past stuff I've talked about has all been in my book. But I've been noticing a bit of a trend that I'm kind of psyched about. And that is the representation of trans people, predominantly trans women, in the world in general. And I came across a couple articles that I'm pretty psyched about. And so, as an example, New Zealand is sending a weightlifter by the name of Laurel Hubbard to compete in the Tokyo Olympics. And do not get me started on the Tokyo Olympics. Let's just move past that conversation. But sending a trans woman to compete in the women's weightlifting category. And some people have said that that's an unfair advantage because, of course, Laurel was assigned male at birth. But if you look at all of the studies related to trans people in sport, there's absolutely no evidence that she will have an advantage over the other competitors in the sport who were assigned female at birth, because she is taking heavy doses of estrogen. And that has an impact on her muscle mass. It has an impact on her strength. So, yeah, that's nonsense. But she will be the first trans person to compete in the Olympics. And in fact, I want to say there's 2 or 3 trans people who are going to the Olympics. And then another article I came across saying, sort of in the pseudo sports world, is a woman by the name of, I'm looking at Lena Bloom, Leyna Bloom. She's going to be the first trans woman of color to grace the pages of Sports Illustrated's illustrious annual swimsuit edition, because Lord knows that's what we need, right? Swimsuit edition. Anyway, it exists, but she's a trans woman and she's stunning, and she's a trans woman of color, and she's going to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And then there's MJ Rodriguez, who is an actor. If you haven't seen MJ on FX's Pose, Pose, check her out. Pose is a TV show that focuses on trans people, and specifically trans people of color, in the ballroom scene in New York in the 1980s. It is amazing, and brilliant piece of film. And MJ Rodriguez has been nominated for an Emmy and is the first trans person to be nominated for and what do you call them? It's not a daytime, primetime Emmy. What was her name who won the daytime Emmy? There's been a trans person who won, Laverne Cox. There it is. She actually won a daytime Emmy, but MJ is the first to be nominated for a primetime Emmy in the category of Best Actress, which is really so exciting. So my whole point in all of this, for those of you who are still here with me, is that this is a really exciting time for trans people. The trans community, and I'm using that as an umbrella term, right? The trans community being people who are non-binary, genderqueer, etc., is really going through a bit of a renaissance in terms of acceptance in society. I've likened the journey of trans people to where sexual minorities were 20 years ago, where we started to see ourselves on television in shows like Will and Grace. We started to see ourselves as elected officials. We started to see ourselves as executives in companies. And now the trans community is experiencing some of that. I think the important thing to know here is that it's not homogeneous. It's not universal. So trans women of color experience massive discrimination. Trans people in general face massive discrimination. Passing privilege is a big part of the conversation around gender and gender inclusion, where if you look at MJ Rodriguez, if you look at Lena Bloom, they have passing privilege, meaning that walking down the street, you're not going to look at them and think that person is trans. That person was assigned male at birth. You might make that assumption about Laurel Hubbard, the weightlifter, although I don't know, she just looks like a weightlifter to me. I'm not sure what that's supposed, what she's supposed to look like. We're not there yet. We have a lot of work to do. And I'm really pleased that in the new book, which, like I said, is coming out March 29th, in time for Trans Day of Visibility, it's, talking a lot more about gender inclusion, talking a lot more about how do you create safe space for trans people? How do you create safe space for non-binary people? It's all about inclusion of people who are gender diverse, and more of a focus on that than we have had in the past. So it is definitely something that people should be paying attention to. And there's a lot to learn, right? We have a long way to go around gender inclusion. We have a lot of work to do. And we need to, we need to be working on this. And I'm laughing because at the same time I'm thinking to myself, well, 31 states have either passed or tabled legislation that prohibits trans people from playing in sports in colleges and universities and high schools based on their gender identity as opposed to their sex assigned at birth. Here's to progress. 31 states this year in 2021. And not all Republican states, Democrat states, states that you would think are progressive. And yet they feel that this is a good use of taxpayers' time. We have a long way to go. We need, there's so much misconception about gender, about people who wake up one day and realize that they're in the wrong body. And I have the utmost respect for trans folks. That's courage. That is a level of courage that I don't know that I know. I don't know that I have that. It is impressive because you really have to care. It really has to be like you cannot make another choice. I know there have been points in my life where I've questioned my own gender. And I will say there's a lot of fear about the idea of coming out and exploring my gender and Thankfully, I've come to a place of acceptance around who I am as a cisgender, gender nonconforming person. But I don't know that I'm brave enough to be like a Jonathan Van Ness and wear heels and dresses. And, I think trans people are really incredible. They are the goddesses and gods of our community. They are the people I looked up to most. So I'm really excited to see openly trans athletes and openly trans models and openly trans actors who are really setting an example. So it's pretty exciting. I'm thrilled for the trans community, but we need to keep working on it. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, connect with me on social media. I'm at the Michael Bach on most platforms except for Facebook, where I'm the Michael Bach official. So connect with me on all the platforms. If you haven't already done so, go to my website, sign up for my mailing list. Go to michaelbach.com, scroll to the bottom, and Stephen, what a thing to say. Steve from Collingwood just commented that the night I met you, you warned me your legs were shaved. Just saying. Yeah, I think they were. You little shit. Oh, that's fantastic. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Good times. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, so if you, what am I supposed to do with that? Never mind. So go to my website and sign up for my mailing list. Go to michaelbach.com, scroll to the bottom of the first page, sign up for my mailing list. Why? Because I do a newsletter once a month. It's, it's just some stuff. But got to find out about when my book is coming out, which is March 29th, 2022, but you're going to forget that. So go sign up for my mailing list and connect with me on social media. Also, check out alphabetsoup.lgbt to find out all about the new book and to learn about the crowdfunding campaign. Go to alphabetsoup.lgbt to find out more, because we've got some fun swag going on. And be kind of cool to check it out. Okay, I think I'm going to go and finish this. I never seem to get through a glass of wine while I'm talking. I guess because I'm talking. I need to have a guest. Maybe I'll see if someone will come on here with me, and then I'll just stop talking. That'll probably never happen. Okay, folks, have an awesome day, and come back Thursday, 5 Eastern, for another episode of Live at 5. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about, but I'll be talking. That is guaranteed. Some things in life are guaranteed, and it's me talking. I will see you all soon for another episode of Live at 5. Bye, y'all.